Good morning. We stand at a remarkable juncture in human history. On one hand, we are witnessing the dawn of an era powered by artificial intelligence that promises unprecedented progress. Projections from institutions like the McKinsey Global Institute suggest AI could deliver an additional $13 trillion in global economic activity by 2030. It is a technology poised to solve intractable problems, enhance human creativity, and unlock new frontiers of scientific discovery. Yet, on the other hand, a quiet but deeply unsettling reality is unfolding in our universities and on the front lines of the labor market. For the very people we expect to build this future, our recent graduates, the promise of AI is increasingly tinged with anxiety. We are facing a profound paradox. A technology of immense value creation is simultaneously sowing seeds of economic uncertainty for the most educated generation in history. Consider this stark data point from J.P. Morgan Global Research. The unemployment rate among college graduates has been rising, reaching a 4-year high. Most disturbingly, it has begun to trend above the aggregate unemployment rate, a situation described as highly unusual by historical standards. This isn't a generalized downturn. It's a targeted tremor. The same research highlights that majors with high exposure to AI, such as computer engineering, graphic design, and architecture, are experiencing significant increases in graduate unemployment. The very fields we championed as the safest bets for the future are now at the epicenter of this disruption. This forces us to move beyond the simplistic, almost folkloric narrative of robots taking jobs. The issue is not a binary conflict between man and machine. It is a complex, systemic restructuring of the knowledge economy itself. The fundamental nature of work, value, and expertise is being redefined by algorithms that can now perform non-routine cognitive tasks, the very tasks that have been the exclusive domain of human professionals. This brings us to the central question of our time, a question that should be on the mind of every student, educator, and policymaker. Is artificial intelligence a ladder to new, unimagined opportunities, or is it pulling the rungs out from under the next generation of professionals just as they begin their climb? My purpose today is not to offer simple answers or to indulge in technological utopianism or dystopian fear. It is to dissect this paradox with analytical rigor. We will examine the dual impact of AI on graduate employment, both the stark realities of job displacement and the vibrant horizon of job creation. More importantly, we will chart a strategic path forward, a roadmap for resilience in an age of intelligent machines. To do this, we will navigate 3 key areas. First, we will analyze the displacement effect, examining the data and mechanisms behind AI-driven job disruption for graduates and identifying who is most at risk. Second, we will explore the opportunity horizon, looking at the new roles and augmented capabilities that AI is creating, transforming productivity and value. And finally, and most critically, we will chart the path to resilience, outlining the urgent imperatives for skills development, educational reform, and proactive policy to ensure our graduates are not victims of this transition, but its architects. The stakes could not be higher. How we navigate this transition will determine whether AI leads to shared prosperity or exacerbates inequality, whether it empowers our workforce or renders it obsolete. Let us begin. To build a resilient future, we must first honestly confront the disruptive forces at play. The anxiety felt by many graduates is not unfounded speculation. It is a rational response to clear and measurable shifts in the labor market. This section moves beyond anecdotes to deconstruct the how and why of AI-driven job displacement, grounding our analysis in the latest economic data and research. The post-pandemic economic recovery has been uneven, but a particularly concerning trend has emerged in the sectors traditionally dominated by college graduates. As J.P. Morgan Research has noted, job growth across several white-collar sectors has been tepid. This slowdown is not a random fluctuation. It correlates with the explosive arrival of powerful generative AI tools. For instance, certain tech industries that were engines of growth for years, including cloud infrastructure, web search, and computer systems design, saw their employment gains halt abruptly at the end of 2022, coinciding with the public release of ChatGPT. This macro trend has a devastating effect at the micro level, particularly for those just starting their careers. The career ladder itself seems to be retracting. According to labor research firm Revelio Labs, job postings for entry-level positions in the U.S. have plummeted by approximately 35% since January 2023. These are the roles that have historically served as the training ground for new graduates, allowing them to build experience by handling simpler foundational tasks. As AI tools prove capable of automating these very tasks, the first rung on the ladder is disappearing for many. Post-graduation uncertainty is a growing reality as entry-level job searches become more challenging in the AI era. The impact is acutely felt even in fields once considered impervious. A BBC report highlights the struggles of recent computer science graduates, who are finding it increasingly difficult to secure their first jobs. The consensus is that employers are leveraging AI to automate the simpler coding and development tasks that were once the proving ground for junior developers. This creates a paradox. While demand for senior tech talent remains high, the pipeline for creating that talent is being squeezed. This leads us back to the alarming trend in graduate unemployment. The historical contract that a college degree provides a significant shield against unemployment is being tested. The unusual convergence of graduate and aggregate unemployment rates is the visual representation of the structural shift underway. To understand why this is happening, we must recognize that the current wave of AI is fundamentally different from previous automation technologies. For decades, automation primarily targeted tasks that were routine, manual, and predictable. The assembly line robot replaced the factory worker. The ATM replaced the bank teller. The defense for knowledge workers was always that their jobs required creativity, judgment, and complex problem solving. Generative AI has shattered that defense. Its primary impact is on non-routine cognitive occupations, the very jobs that lawyers, designers, analysts, and engineers are trained for. As a Harvard Business Review article notes, these new technologies can perform increasingly sophisticated kinds of knowledge-based work. This is not about replacing physical labor, but about automating thought processes. While many proponents speak of augmentation, AI as a co-pilot enhancing human capabilities, the current business incentives often point toward outright automation. A revealing study from the Brookings Institution, citing data from the AI company Anthropic, found a critical distinction. While individual users of the Claude chatbot use it for augmentation about half the time, business clients using its API deployed it for automation purposes an overwhelming 77% of the time. This suggests that when it comes to scaling AI for enterprise use, the primary driver is often cost-cutting and efficiency through labor replacement, not just empowerment. This rush to automate is not without peril. The technology, while powerful, is far from infallible. Cautionary tales are emerging of its misuse. Fast Company documented instances where unchecked AI led to embarrassing and professionally damaging errors, such as an account manager recommending a hot chicken franchise to a client seeking wellness opportunities. Another report mentioned the colleague letting ChatGPT draft Slack messages, only to repeatedly address his boss by the wrong name. These are not just humorous anecdotes. They are symptoms of a deeper problem. Over-reliance on automation without sufficient human oversight compromises quality, erodes trust, and introduces new forms of operational risk. This technological disruption does not affect everyone equally. The data reveals a disproportionate impact on specific demographic groups, creating new fault lines of inequality. First and foremost are young workers. A report from National University reveals a stark generational divide in perception and vulnerability. Workers aged 18 to 24 are 129% more likely than those over 65 to worry that AI will make their jobs obsolete. This is not youthful pessimism. It is a reflection of their precarious position. Entry-level jobs, which are disproportionately filled by the young, are precisely the roles at highest risk. Nearly half of Gen Z job seekers believe AI has already reduced the value of their college education, and a staggering 11% of recent graduates have already changed their career plans due to AI's perceived impact. There is also a significant gender dimension. A global study by PwC found that in every country analyzed, more women than men are in jobs highly exposed to AI. This presents a dual-edged sword. On one hand, it offers a tremendous opportunity for women to leverage AI for productivity gains. On the other, it poses a greater risk of displacement if they are not equipped with the necessary skills to adapt. The same report notes that women's AI adoption levels currently lag behind men's, suggesting an urgent need to close this skills gap to prevent the AI revolution from widening gender inequality in the workplace. Finally, the impact on creative professions is particularly complex and emotionally charged. For years, creativity was seen as the ultimate human sanctuary from automation. Now, generative AI can produce text, images, and music, creating both a tool and a competitor. Research from Stanford's Graduate School of Business found that after generative AI entered the market for digital art, the total number of images for sale skyrocketed, while the number of human-generated images fell dramatically. This has fueled intense debate and anxiety, epitomized by the 2023 Hollywood writers' strike, where concerns about AI's role in script writing were a central issue. While some creatives embrace AI to automate tedious work, the fear of devaluation and displacement is palpable. Data-driven disruption. Graduate unemployment is rising in AI-exposed fields, and entry-level job postings have declined significantly, indicating a structural shift. Cognitive automation. Unlike past technologies, generative AI targets non-routine cognitive tasks, the core of many graduate-level professions. Enterprise strategy versus user behavior. Business use of AI APIs leans heavily towards automation for efficiency, even if individual use is more balanced with augmentation. Disproportionate impact. Young workers, women, and creative professionals face unique and heightened risks from AI-driven displacement. Having confronted the sobering realities of displacement, it is crucial that we do not succumb to a narrative of technological determinism. The same forces that disrupt also create. AI is not merely a destroyer of jobs, it is a powerful engine for job creation, a catalyst for productivity, and a tool for augmenting human intelligence. To navigate this new world, we must pivot from a mindset of fear to one of strategic opportunity. The historical pattern of technological revolutions, from the steam engine to the internet, is one of short-term disruption followed by long-term net job growth. The evidence suggests that AI will follow a similar trajectory. The World Economic Forum, for example, projects that while AI and related trends may displace 92 million jobs by 2030, they will simultaneously create 170 million new ones. This results in a net gain of 78 million jobs globally. This is not a distant forecast. The creation is happening now. CEOs are actively hiring for roles that were unimaginable just a few years ago. A recent IBM survey cited by Salesforce found that 54% of CEOs report they are already hiring for AI-related positions that did not exist a year prior. This rapid emergence of new roles underscores a dynamic and evolving labor market, one that rewards adaptation and new skills rather than punishing technology outright. The narrative of replacement is incomplete. As Goldman Sachs research argues, while AI-related layoffs may cause transitory unemployment, the impact is likely to be temporary, as new job opportunities created by the technology ultimately put people to work in different, often higher-value capacities. What do these new jobs look like? They can be broadly categorized into three areas. First are the direct AI roles. These are the architects and builders of the AI ecosystem. Demand for positions like AI, machine learning engineer, data scientist, and big data engineer has been on a steep incline for years, according to platforms like Coursera. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects that employment for software developers will grow by 17.9% between 2023 and 2033, a rate much faster than the average for all occupations. These roles require deep technical expertise and are at the forefront of innovation. Second are the AI-adjacent roles. This is arguably the largest and most diverse category. AI is a general-purpose technology, and its application is creating new needs across every industry. We are seeing the rise of AI specialists in fields far beyond tech, including healthcare, finance, marketing, national security, and agriculture. For example, in healthcare, AI is being used for predictive analytics to identify at-risk patients, creating a need for clinicians and data analysts who can interpret and act on these AI-driven insights. Third, and perhaps most interestingly, are the human-in-the-loop roles. These jobs exist at the intersection of human and artificial intelligence. They are less about building AI and more about guiding, managing, and refining it. This includes emerging titles like AI prompt engineer, who specializes in crafting instructions to elicit the best performance from large language models. AI ethicist, who ensures systems are deployed responsibly and without bias. And AI trainer, who curates data and provides feedback to improve model accuracy. These roles highlight that as AI becomes more powerful, the need for human judgment, context, and oversight becomes more, not less, critical. Beyond direct job creation, the most profound opportunity lies in augmentation, the partnership between human and machine. By delegating repetitive, data-heavy, and rule-based tasks to AI, we free up human capital to focus on what we do best: creativity, strategic thinking, complex problem-solving, and emotional intelligence. This is not about working less, it's about working smarter and on higher-value activities. The case studies are compelling. An organizational psychologist cited by Salesforce tells the story of an HR leader who feared AI would make her role redundant. After allowing AI to automate the tedious task of initial resume screening, she found she had more time to build meaningful relationships with top candidates, improving both her job satisfaction and hiring outcomes. In the creative space, a Forbes article describes how graphic designers use AI's generative fill features to automate the non-creative work of adapting ad designs for different channels. This not only saves time, but also helps prevent burnout, allowing them to focus their energy on genuine ideation. This augmentation translates directly into economic value. A landmark PwC analysis found that wages are rising twice as quickly in industries most exposed to AI compared to those least exposed. This strongly suggests that rather than devaluing labor, AI is making skilled workers who can leverage it more productive and therefore more valuable. The technology is a multiplier of human expertise. This potential for productivity gain is so immense that it is forcing us to rethink the very structure of work. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon has provocatively suggested that AI could automate so many tasks that it enables a 3.5-day workweek. While this may seem like a distant vision, it is rooted in the tangible promise of AI to enhance productivity, reduce burnout, and improve overall well-being by allowing us to achieve more in less time. Net job creation? Major economic forecasts predict that AI will create more jobs than it displaces in the long run. Diverse new roles. Opportunities are emerging in direct AI development, AI-adjacent roles across all industries, and human-in-the-loop positions focused on guiding AI. Augmentation drives value. AI enhances human productivity by automating routine tasks, allowing humans to focus on higher-value work. As we've examined both the displacement effect and the opportunity horizon, we must now turn to the most critical question. How do we ensure that our graduates, our workforce, and our society as a whole can navigate this transition successfully? The path to resilience requires deliberate action on three interconnected fronts: skills development, educational transformation, and proactive policy. The skills imperative is clear and urgent. As PwC's research starkly illustrates, the skills required to succeed in AI-powered jobs are changing 66% faster than in other jobs. This accelerating pace creates a significant skills gap that, if left unaddressed, will leave millions behind. We cannot rely on static credentials earned years ago. The half-life of skills is shrinking rapidly, and continuous learning has become not just advantageous, but essential for career survival. This means developing both technical AI proficiency and distinctly human capabilities. On the technical side, we need to cultivate competencies in data analysis, machine learning concepts, and AI tool utilization across all disciplines, not just computer science. But equally important are the irreplaceable human skills: creativity, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving, and strategic thinking. The most valuable professionals in the AI age will be those who can effectively collaborate with intelligent machines while providing the judgment, empathy, and innovation that only humans can offer.
The role of education in this transformation cannot be overstated. Universities and colleges must fundamentally reimagine their curricula and pedagogical approaches. AI needs to be integrated as a transversal skill across all disciplines, not siloed in technical programs. This means that future lawyers must understand AI's impact on legal research. Future doctors must be adept at interpreting AI diagnostic tools, and future marketers must know how to leverage AI for customer insights. But educational reform goes beyond curriculum changes. It requires a fundamental shift in how we approach learning itself. The traditional model of front-loading education in early adulthood, followed by decades of application, is obsolete. We need to embrace a model of lifelong learning, with universities serving as continuous education hubs throughout graduates' careers. This might involve micro-credentials, stackable certificates, and flexible learning pathways that allow professionals to reskill and upskill as industry needs evolve. Finally, we must acknowledge that market forces alone will not ensure an equitable transition. Proactive policy and governance frameworks are essential to steer this revolution towards shared prosperity rather than increased inequality. This includes robust social safety nets for those in transition, investment in public retraining programs, and policies that encourage responsible AI deployment. We must also establish monitoring systems to track AI's evolving impact on employment patterns. The Brookings Institution wisely warns that without clear, timely analysis, we risk both overreacting to imagined crises and underreacting to real disruptions. We need real-time data and adaptive policy frameworks that can respond quickly to emerging challenges. The role of policy extends to ensuring inclusive access to AI education and training. Special attention must be paid to groups disproportionately affected by AI disruption, particularly women and young workers. This might involve targeted scholarship programs, mentorship initiatives, and support systems that help these groups navigate the skills transition successfully. In conclusion, we stand at a defining moment in human history. The arrival of artificial intelligence presents us with a profound choice. We can allow this technology to become a force that divides us, creating winners and losers, widening inequality, and leaving entire segments of our workforce behind. Or we can shape it into a tool that elevates us all, increasing human capability, reducing drudgery, and unlocking new possibilities for creativity and fulfillment. The evidence suggests that AI will ultimately create more jobs than it displaces, but this positive outcome is not guaranteed. It is conditional on our actions today. If we invest in the right skills, transform our educational institutions, and implement thoughtful policies, we can ensure that the next generation of graduates doesn't just survive the AI revolution, but thrives because of it. The choice is ours. The time for action is now. Thank you.